cheaper in a day.
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, hi everybody. They always catch me kind of unaware on this. But anyway, here we are. This is your city, your county, and we're recording this on April 13th, 2022. We're very pleased to have as our guest Matt Murphy, who is the Public Works Director here in Algoma. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Got a good strong handshake. You
Happy
must
to be here.
Must be doing a good job. How many years have you been on the job, man?
I started here September of 2018 with the city of Algoma.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's good.
And it's been quite an adventure, and it's been fantastic. The mayor, city council, all the staff here has been more than a pleasure to work with.
That's great. I've always, whenever I come, it seems like everybody has a very good sense of humor too,
Yeah.
and that's important. What did you do before you got started on this?
I was the public works director for the city of Kewaunee.
Oh, I see.
So,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
you didn't have to go too far then.
No.
That's good.
So-
All right. Very good. How many people do you have working in your department?
I have 5 guys that work directly underneath me on a day-to-day basis, and then in summer that number goes up to about 5 more, 10 in total with our part-time staff, our staff that cuts at the lawns at the cemetery. We have a couple of 2 employees that work down at the Parks Department and work directly with Mike Selsider, that is kind of oversees all of our city parks, and then about 3 or 4 employees down at the marina that work directly all summer long from start to finish of opening and closing the marina.
Where did those people come from? Are they students or?
Some are students, some are retired, live in the area here, live in the city or just outside the area. They're retired and just want something to do. They don't want to be, 40, 50 hours a week, but some of them want 10 hours, some of them want 20 hours, some of them want 40 hours, So it's a challenge every spring coming into this time of the year to find staff, all the way down to, we have an employee that works 15 to 20 hours a week just watering all of the city flowers.
Oh.
So we fill up a tank and that person goes out with a pickup truck and just waters all the public city of Algoma flower pots throughout the city.
Oh.
And but yeah, there's we have 3 employees, 4 this year out at the cemetery that'll be cutting grass, taking care of the Evergreen Public Cemetery for us. And then we try to get 2, usually they're high school kids or just out of high school going to college, to take care of all the city parks, cut grass, pick up sticks, edging, weed eating. There's mulch under all the swing sets. If something needs to be fixed, we have them do some public facility painting and things like that, maintenance. So they stay fairly busy 40 hours a week in that department. And then at the marina, we have a staff of our marina. Really, it starts out slow, and we're only open 25 or so, 30 hours, and it ramps up, and we're open 7 days a week, a full service marina.
Mhm.
We do have transient sites available. We also have full service fuel at our marina. We do have showers, bathroom facility for our transients and our seasonal slip holders.
Mhm.
So there's always something going on down there once the fishing starts to ramp up, and as fishing ramps up, we ramp our hours up along with it, and as it starts to slow down towards the end of summer into fall, we start to kind of move our hours back.
Do you have any idea how many people you have using the marina?
Well, we have 58 slips in our public marina. The city of Algoma has the public marina, which is located on the south side of the Anape River. Inside our harbor, we have 58 slips, and we're probably 90% full of seasonal slip holders, and then the rest of the slips we let available for transients that are coming in and just going to fish the weekend or maybe stay a night. And they're coming and going throughout the whole summer.
Yeah. Well, being on the Anape River, that's really an advantage, I would think, because it's so protected in there. You know, you're not out in the middle of Lake Michigan, and of course there are good breakwalls and everything around.
Yeah.
But I would think that would be a great place to tie up.
Yeah, it's really, you're really protected, and it's helping now. Well, helping, hurting, I don't know which way you want to look at it, but our water level is down about 2 feet from 2 years ago. So we're significantly down where we were at an all-time high. We're not close to record lows or anything, but it's really trended down, which is a benefit for our boats inside. You don't see as much. It still does happen. We still have waves come over the South Dogleg Breakwall. But yeah, so there's a lot going on with it and a lot of moving parts to it, but you're pretty secure once you get inside the marina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you must see a lot of the same people. Obviously, if you're renting it out, 90% or 90% of the docks.
Yeah, we have a lot of return customers. Every year they come back and, they run their charter business out of our marina that, their customers come meet right down in our marina. They get on the boat, they go out fish, they come back off the boat. The charter fishing in Algoma is fantastic for the whole greater downtown area of Algoma. A lot of people are staying in Airbnbs, condos, the hotels. They're using the restaurants. It really brings a lot of people into the city, not just for fishing, but the people that come up here as a family to go fishing, and maybe the guys go out fishing, or maybe some of them do, some of them don't, and some of them stay up. They stay on shore and don't go fishing. They visit the winery and the tap room and the stores in downtown. So it really generates a lot of business in downtown Algoma.
Yeah, when you think of Algoma, you think of tourism and that sort of thing. You think of the fishing and the natural draw that is.
Yeah.
And we have to also say for women's rights that I'm sure there are a lot of women who go fishing, and the guys maybe go shopping.
There are.
Right?
There are.
Okay.
So it goes that way too. And while we're on the marina, I guess I just want to touch base and probably a lot of people know, but so our south wall, breakwall, we just received back, I want to say December, January, we found out, we were notified that the city of Algoma was federally earmarked $19.166 million to redo our federal breakwall. So it'll be a federal project. The oversight will come from the Corps of Engineers, but the Corps will put that out they're going to try to get the Corps to about 33% design phase, and then they'll put the rest of the design out for bid, and all the construction will go out to bid to a private contractor. And that work is scheduled for 2023. That money is earmarked to start being spent, which is fantastic. The people that walk out on our pier, they fish on it, they go out there to take pictures in the morning and the evening. It's a huge asset to the city, and it's fantastic that money has been earmarked federally. That work is going to happen right here in the city of Algoma.
It's got to be nice for you too, because you don't have to do it.
It's a federal wall, so we won't do it. But Mayor Schmidt was a huge asset and really pushed and saw that the need to have that done, and how many people in the city and from outside the city, the tourists that come off the beach and they take a walk out there on a hot day, or so it's a huge asset to the city, and Mayor Schmidt was very proactive and pushed with the feds and the Corps of Engineers, and it was fantastic to find out that they were earmarked a little bit of money, and they did a study, and it's like, well, okay, they're going to do a $250,000 study, and then it's going to probably sit on death's ears for a while, and nothing's going to happen to it. And out of surprise, we actually found out here just a couple months ago that the city was earmarked that funding, and it's fantastic news.
Do they have to remove the old one, or
right now, like I said, it's at 33% design. We're working very closely with the Chicago District Corps of Engineers. That's where all of this is coming out of now. But right now it sounds like they're going to steel frame encapsulate what's there and pour a new concrete top on it.
Oh, okay.
So people don't realize, it's like, well, $19 million, you can do a lot of work with $19 million. It's actually a pretty good length that stretches out there into the water that
It
has to be
is.
all
I know.
encapsulated.
I've watched people walk out there and you go, my gosh, I watched them 15 minutes ago and they were back here, you know,
Yeah,
now they're out
yeah,
there.
it's a lot longer of a walk all the way out there than a
yeah.
person would think once you get out there and start walking.
Yeah,
So.
good. Well, I'll have to wait till that gets done. and
Yeah,
I'll go
yeah, it's
out
going to be
there.
a really exciting project.
bet.
I mean, there's going to be some work on both sides of it, on the lake side and on the harbor side of it. I don't think it's going to impede any of our, 2023. We're a year out from it, but I don't think it's going to impede. Boats will still be able to travel in and out of the harbor, and so I'm really looking forward, really excited to get this project underway.
That's great. Another tourist attraction.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So,
Well, come and see our boardwalk or our
the pierhead.
pier.
Yeah.
Pierhead.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I know that you're working on a lot of different projects. Tell me a little bit about 3rd Street. I know that there's been quite a bit of discussion as to some work going on there. What all are you doing there?
Yeah, 3rd Street is our big project coming into 2022. So we earmark funding every year, part of our capital outlay, to do so much infrastructure and rebuild a road. So this year we're doing 3 blocks. It's going to be just over 3 blocks because we're going down 2 streets off of 3rd Street a little bit longer. But right downtown Algoma, 3rd Street, we're going to start at Clark, on Clark and 3rd Street. And on Clark, we're going east almost all the way to Nicolay Bank, all the way past our parking lot. But then going north down 3rd, all the way to Navarino is where the project ends. So
That's quite a ways.
it is. It's just over 3 blocks. So that's our big project of the year. That'll be a complete relay. So there'll be all new water main that's going in, all new sanitary main, new storm sewer. Laterals will be put in for water and sanitary sewer into the residential homes and to the businesses. They'll have new laterals put up to their house, and we'll be connecting into their existing ones, or if they're gonna put new ones in on the residential side, that would be on their selves. And then a complete road build and new blacktop, a lot of new curb. Not everything is gonna be new curbing, but in pretty, I would say probably 75 to 80% of it will be new curb, and probably about 60 to 65% of it will be new sidewalk as well. That will be pouring on both sides of the street and redoing everything that has any cracks, bumps, any lifted, frost shifted sidewalk will all be coming out and be replaced throughout that project as well.
Pretty fancy.
Yeah, yeah. So if anybody remembers the 6th Street project from last year, we did 4 blocks on 6th Street last year. It's going to be a real duplicate of what you got to see on 6th Street, what you're going to see on 3rd Street.
So if you like 6th, you're going to love
If you're happy
3rd.
with 6th Street, you're going to be very happy with what happens downtown. So like I said, the city earmarks so much capital improvement money every year. It's, I want to say, right around $777,000, $780,000 of money that'll be funded to do this 3 blocks. The city of Algoma, along with our engineering firm Robert E. Lee and the contractor Peters Concrete out of Green Bay, will all be here at City Hall at 4 o'clock on April 25th. Monday, April 25th is a key date for everybody. If anybody has any stake in the game or just general public questions of what's going on, we have a pre-con here at 4 o'clock that'll really start off the project on April 25th, and that'll be just city staff and the engineering firm and the contractor and his subcontractors. But then at 5 o'clock, it's open up for a public information meeting that anybody that from the general public wants to come if they have questions because they live on 3rd Street or just around the corner. I park my car on the street, where can I park it? Am I going to be able to open the doors and get it in and out of my business? If you're familiar with 3rd Street, if you get down to the north end of it, this encompasses both sides of the fire station. So this makes it a trickier project, I'm going to say, but we'll be working when we get down that far firsthand with the fire chief and the fire and rescue department. There'll be mornings that we'll have to get fire apparatus out of the department, and they'll be able to perform their work, but still be able, so those trucks and rescue squads can still to respond to calls.
But they may have to wash their trucks.
Well, there's going to be some gravel. There's going to be some gravel.
I'm sure.
We're working. Another thing is the car show that happens right downtown on Steel Street. They go right across 3rd Street where we're going to have some construction. So we'll be working closely when that gets closer. We'll be working with the Algoma Fire Department and the organization that puts on the car show, the CIVA here of Algoma that puts on the car show, working directly with them to try to make it as best as we can to allow them to have their car show and be able to operate down there like they normally do. But our main goal when we're working downtown, and one of the biggest events here throughout the year here in the city of Algoma, is the Shanty Days weekend.
Sure.
And our substantial completion date, which means that 3rd Street portion that we're doing of those 3 blocks will be blacktopped by Shanty Days weekend. I think the week before, the first week in August, I think is a scheduled substantial completion to have all of that work done and the road blacktopped in time.
So even if you have to be out there at midnight the day before, I'm sure you're going to.
That'll be close work with the contractors to keep that moving along. I've been here since, like I said earlier, September of 18. Every project, every year that we've done a project so far has been with Peters Concrete. They've been fantastic to work with. They stay on schedule, stay on task, and yeah. I mean, it's going to get to a point where Peters will more or less move out of here and they'll be done, and then it's their subcontractors that'll come in and start to perform the concrete work, the sidewalk work, and the curb work. And then once the curb work is done and the sidewalk is in, then they'll start building the road and get it ready to blacktop.
Now, does your staff get involved in that too, other than planning? I mean, are they out there shoveling and doing
No,
things?
our staff doesn't have a lot of involvement in it. There might be a little bit of cleanup or removing of a stop sign or putting a stop sign back. The staff at the utilities that deals with the water and electric, excuse me, they have a lot more involvement in it, just because we do a complete relay on the water side, so they'll actually remove the water main and put a new water main in place of it, which means that they tie every business and every residential home onto temporary water. So they come off in different areas of the city. So they do a lot on the front end of the project before they start that water main work to make sure everybody's tied onto water, and then they shut them off and they literally remove that water main out of the ground that's existing and replace it with all brand new.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you're planning all of this so that you're not paving the street and then 3 years down the road say, oh, we forgot to fix that water pipe.
That's the biggest thing. I would love nothing more to just go and blacktop roads, and we do have a lot of roads in the city that need work, and we understand that. We're continuously looking for grants. The state and the federal government just earmarked some more funding that's out there that we're looking into. How can we get some of these grants and bring that money into the city? But the big picture of it is it's not just the road. There's nothing that I want to do or I do not want to do is go blacktop a road and completely rebuild a road and then have to go dig it back up 7 feet down to replace a sewer pipe that's sewer main that's busted, or a storm sewer, or there's continuously water main breaks or something. So it's really starts deep down in the ground and gets built back. It's not just the road that unfortunately, and that's where a lot of the big expense comes in, is the infrastructure underneath the road.
Yeah. Speaking of roads, are you doing a lot of patching? It seems like every spring there's holes.
We are. We continue to do a lot of patching. There's a lot of misperception with road patching. Pothole patching is not a end-all, be-all 5 or 6 year fix. People say, they'll call me up. I get numerous calls, especially in spring. The frost is coming out of the ground is moving. I get numerous calls. I have a pothole that you guys were, city staff was here 2 weeks ago and they filled it in and it's gone. Pothole patching is a temporary fix. We use it to try to get longevity out of it because it's a cheap fix, but it's not an end-all, be-all fix. So we're continuing out there. We're always trying to stay ahead of the game. Unfortunately, you can never get ahead of it. There's a lot of city area, a lot of streets that need to be covered. We understand that there are areas that need to be addressed, and we're continuing to work, trying to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
You drive
yeah.
around, oh, there's one.
Yeah. So.
Has weather been affecting you at all? It seems like we've had a lot of rain and some snow, cold weather. Does that make a difference in your job?
It drives it a little bit different. Obviously everybody would like a nice day, and we happen to have a pretty convenient winter this year. We did not get a lot of snow. We had some cold weather and not a lot of snow. So we didn't do a lot of plowing, but early in March we had some really nice weather, and everybody starts to get the spring fever and say, well, let's get out there, and why come you're not doing this and how come you're not doing that? And there's still a lot of frost in the ground, but now that we're mid-April here now, a lot of the frost or 90, almost 100% of the frost is out of the ground. We're able to start, we're probably a week away from start deharnessing all of our winter equipment, breaking it down, and really shifting into spring mode. Obviously the weather hasn't been real nice. It's windy, it's raining. That's April. You deal with it. Unfortunately, we'd all like to say, I wish it was sunny and 65 degrees out already, but I mean, we do live in Wisconsin. We have the beautiful lake that we all enjoy so much all summer long, but this is pays dividends this time of the year for us on these cold days.
Yeah. I know I pound for sale signs into the ground occasionally, and I always think, oh, please, spring, come along, because otherwise I sit there with a sledgehammer, for
try to get it through the frost.
10, 15 minutes, pounding this thing. So it's nice when the weather gets better. We also, I know here in Algoma, have the brush pickup, which is coming up. Give us some details on that for folks who might be listening and watching.
Brush pickup, and that's great to bring this up for all city residents. Brush pickup is picked up the first and third Monday of every month. You can put it curbside. We ask that you put the cut end or the butt end of your brush out to the curb. But that starts here in May and runs all the way through October in the city. If Monday that we would be scheduled, I think here in July and September, Monday of brush pickup falls on a holiday, we would start that brush pickup the following Tuesday then. So if we're off on Monday, we'd be picking up brush on Tuesday. And we ask if you have brush out at the curb that you call City Hall, but we've been running the whole city route. Early in spring, it's usually a day and a half, a 2-day event that we're out picking up brush. But we ask that you have it out there by 6 a.m. on Monday morning. And we drive through the city and we run it right through our chipper, chip it into the back of the truck, and we get rid of the wood chips. If you have some smaller brush, smaller sticks and twigs and any garden waste, you can take tree branches, you can take or brush, any garden waste, lawn clippings, any dirt that you have. We do have a compost facility that is open 7 days a week right behind the street shop at 1520 Jefferson Street. You're more than welcome to take that material and dump it on your own. Bring it up there, whether it's in the back of a truck or on a trailer, or bring it up there and dump it. And twice a year, we have a big tub grinder that comes into town and takes that big pile, and we run it through a tub grinder, and it makes a compost mulch material that is free for the general public here in the city to come and pick up.
That's nice.
So,
do you have to be a citizen of Algoma in order to do that?
we ask, but we do have people that come from out of the area. For a while there, we couldn't get rid of it. And for whatever reason, the start of the pandemic, I think a lot of people were home more. All of a sudden, our compost pile was like, whoa, where did that all go? It was gone. But now here in spring, we're coming into spring and the nicer weather, and I still have probably 50, 60 yards sitting out there, and the tub grinder should be here, I would say, in the next month probably that he'll show up here and grind. So we'll have a pretty significant pile here, I would say, in the next 30 days.
Sounds
That's
like a great opportunity.
open for the public.
gardeners.
You know, and some
Yeah.
people come and get a couple 5-gallon buckets of it. Some people come and get a pickup truck load of it. So, but that is free to the city. What we ask that you don't bring to the compost pile, if you're bringing stuff in, any construction lumber, any cut material that you would buy at Menards, Home Depot, Fleet Farm, any of whether it was rough cut or bought right at the store, we ask that you don't bring any construction material and dump it on site. That we do not take.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So-
And you'd mentioned the brush pickup where you drive around the city. Is there
Yep.
any charge for that?
There is not. So we drive through the whole city of Algoma. There is no charge. That's to the residents here in the city of Algoma. So we do not charge for that.
Sounds like a good service.
So that is a service that the city provides. And then also in fall, I'm excited, we have a new leaf vac coming. It's actually been purchased, it's on order. We're not sure exact delivery dates yet, but I'm hoping that we have it for this fall. We'll be picking up leaves the same way. We ask that you rake your leaves out to the curb. We'll pick them up from there. You're just going to see a different machine this year picking them up. The exact same concept that the city's been doing for the last how many years. We'll continue to do that, just with a new machine this year. So
Big vacuum, right?
big, huge vacuum.
Yeah.
Yep. So it vacuums it up and blows them into the back of a truck. What we currently have, this is all self-contained. So it's more or less everything is on a trailer that you pick up and it blows it right into a self-contained box.
Cool. I always love to watch those go down the street. I should follow them. I
Yeah.
mean, 100 or 200 feet back. But
Sure,
just
sure.
watch them go down the
Yeah,
street. That's got to
yeah.
be fun.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've just about run out of time. We have covered the waterfront, so to speak,
Yeah.
with the marina and everything else that's going on. We'd like to thank you so much. We've been speaking with the Public Works Director of Algoma, Matt Murphy. And Matt, thank you again. I hope you'll come back and see us again.
Anytime. Thank you.
Okay.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you having me.
Thank you. That's going to do it for Your City, Your County for today. We've been speaking once again with Matt Murphy, the Public Works Director. We thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you'll join us when next time it's time for Your City, Your County. Have a great day, everybody. So long.